Welcome to News Libre Sports. I'm Moses Echudu, and with me is Brian Mugabe. Cringe. I don't know if he's a Mugabe though, but
it's only because I'm actually giving out information, so that makes me wonder.
Anyhow, so today with us we're going to be discussing the She Cranes who are at the Netball World Cup that is in England, Liverpool City, and then we're going to talk about the AFCON final between Senegal and Algeria, and of course we'll also look at the different transfers that have been happening in the world of sports. So for more stories of this kind, please don't be shy to subscribe to our channel.
It's been a while though.
It's been a while, and we have really apologized for taking a while to share with you, but we've been having a bit of issues here and there. But now we're back, and we'll be bringing you all the information that you need, and also regarding the transfer window. So, Brian, the She Cranes in Liverpool. First game they lost to England, who are the hosts, and then they went on to win 3 games. That meant that they went through to the next round. We played against Trinidad and Tobago, a very tight and close game. But then in the next final, the game that we really needed to win, South Africa beats us, hands us everything that we needed to take in terms of our loss. And then of course, Jamaica sealing it off with that another impressive performance. What have you made of the players so far?
Well, I think where we have reached is already an achievement for us, because you look at our netball game in Uganda. The first time we played in such a tournament was way back, 1979. Then
I think we played in 2015.
Our first appearance was in 1979. Then our second was in 2015 in Australia. So you can really tell that there has been that time limit factor, whereby it takes so much for federation to build a team. But for me, I think the ladies have actually done the good thing. But I would like to pat the backs of the people who have been pulling those strings behind the curtain. The technical director in there, William Mwanga, not only that, but Vincent Bukenya, the coach, and as well Nelson Abogere, the assistant coach. I think they've really done a good thing. And me, I was really happy that we first played against England, because I knew that we couldn't beat England anyway. I knew that we couldn't beat England, but it was going to set that foundation, what we should expect in the tournament. Now, when you look at how we played, most of the mistakes we made against England, at least the ladies managed to throw them out of the window and managed to put up impressive results in all the games that we have played. Because you look at that game against England, we lacked that discipline.
When you talk about discipline, actually, I remember Stella Oyola was evicted from the game, and we played with one woman down.
We lacked discipline, speed as well. But one thing I realized is what Vincent Bukenya was doing. I mean, I really liked the tactics in there, because you are dealing with a team. You haven't really been with a team for that much, because if you remember, there were 37 players in January. But in July, when the tournament was due, we only needed 12 players. Now, 7 out of those 12 players, these are players who are part of the team that played 4 years ago. So that initially means that there are a couple of bunch of players that you need at least to create that chemistry and stuff. But I really liked the tactics against England. You can really tell that he knew that we never had a chance of winning, but he tried out very many things. If you remember, the likes of Nampungu, Namwaya as well, they were shifted to play that goal defense position.
You speak about tactics, and Stella Nafuka was shifted. He kept rotating the defense. You look at Agila as well, they were shifted. And my question would be, do you think that rotation of the team could have also had an impact on how we performed overall?
I think so, because if you rotate around the team against the big dogs, and as you don't really put up impressive results, but at least you show the players what they should expect. I think in that sense, that tactic really worked out. I remember Nafuka replaced, I think it was Namwaya against England. And to me, it wasn't really going to work out, but that's what the coach needs to do. You know that we can't beat up a team like England. Why don't you try out your tactics? Because the next teams, at least, we know what we need to work on. So I was really impressed with the girls. I think we really achieved so much.
Okay, and of course, as the ladies, as we've talked about how they have achieved so much. Remember, we have not yet been knocked out. It just means that we're not going to the next round. That would have taken us to the semi-final. What happens is that now we go to this next round where we're playing to see where we finish. We will be finishing 7th or 8th in this Netball World Cup, which for those of you who do not know, this is similar to finishing 16th or in the last round of 16 in football.
But at first, it sounded like you were disappointed.
I think that we could have performed better. It's just that we were pitted against some of the finest teams in the world.
And it's the best thing that could have happened to us.
Yeah, and we played against Jamaica, an absolutely ruthless side in terms of netball. South Africa, the best nation in African netball. You look at England, one of the best. I think England is the third in world netball. And so you look at it all and you're thinking probably we could have picked up results, but the results that we got were absolutely the kind of results that we should have been getting. So don't be so disappointed with the performances that we had. It's more like having the Uganda Cranes going to play against Brazil and they hand us everything in losses. So that is how it ended. So the girls are still in Liverpool. I think 2 more matches they should be playing before they can come back to Kampala. But again, like Krida said, a fantastic performance from them, and something that they've really done is holding the flag up there for us in the world of netball. Next up, Creed. The AFCON World final is coming up. Senegal reminds me so much of Portugal in 2016 when they went all the way to win the Euros. Have not been very convincing on the pitch. They have lacked that aura of a big team because they have the best players. They have some of the best players on the continent. Because talk about Sadio Mane, Koulibaly, Koyate, Sa. You look at Diatta. You look at Ndiaye. These are some of the best players that we have on the continent. However, their performances have not been convincing. I think the only time that they tried to be convincing was when they were playing against Kenya in that last game, and you could really see that they are. Ever since then, they have not shown us that they are the best team to get to the final. However, guess what? The football gods have told us that Senegal should be in the final, and 17 years is the last time that they were in the final. In the final that they lost to Cameroon. Some of the best players where Aliou Cisse happened to be the captain of that side. But you look at them this time around. They have pushed on, gotten to the final. They are taking on an Algerian side that have been nothing but convincing. Played some of the best football, have scored some of the highest number of goals, have also created some of the most memorable moments in the AFCON this year. What do you make of this final?
Well, first of all, I know that I've been sharing thoughts with very many people, and they think that it seemingly is going to be a walk in the park for Algeria, simply because they have played better football than Senegal in the tournament. But I would like to throw that away. I think that for Senegal, the kind of players that they do have, they're actually designed for such moments. This is a team that hasn't really played impressive football. But when you look at the players that they do have, these are players that can step up on such a stage. Because we are looking at 23 players, 17 out of those 23 play in competitive leagues. So they know what to do. I think it's only the likes of Diatta that plays in Club Brugge, Bayern playing Turkey in there. Then you have Cisse who plays in Olympiacos. The likes of Henry Saviat who plays for Bazaspor. I mean, but the other players actually know what to do.
But when you talk about Olympiacos and Bazaspor, these are teams that have always appeared in the UEFA Champions League. So they hold that high magnitude in terms of football.
But yet again, I think that there are a couple of things that Senegal need to work on. First of all, the shift in their midfield. I saw the game they played against Tunisia. It's not such a team that is very flexible in the midfield. Because if you look at how Tunisia played, they would have won that game simply because when you look at how the defense was stemmed, this Senegal defense, they were all focusing much more on the ball. They're not looking at the runners. And I think this is where I blame the person who was supposed to orchestrate that midfield. That's Shikiri of Tunisia. He wasn't looking at the lanes. While the likes of Masekani were running through, Kisirani as well were running through the lanes, he wasn't looking at them. But if he was looking at them, he would have that ability to pass that ball up simply because the midfield of Senegal, they were not shifting, they were focusing so much in the park. And then of course their defense wasn't really that impressive. I know people have been talking about Koulibaly and Koyate. But still, that defense has been really, really shaky. Because you look at Koyate, look at the likes of Gassama in there. I mean, these are players who can play better than what they are showing us right now. But they have failed to do that. So I think in this final, what they need to do is play good defense. They don't have Koulibaly, but I mean, they have the likes of Salif Sane in there. Abdul Cisse as well can step up in there. So I think that they need to work on their defense. Not only that, but even their midfield. They need to have that flexibility. Moving up front and then, of course, tracking back. Because when you look at how Algeria plays in that 4-1-4-1 formation, very comfortable and dangerous team. They do have, I think it's Adel Goudiri who pulls the strings behind. I mean, is this kind of player who can if you remember watching Fabregas at Arsenal, those low crosses in the years, that ability to
pass. The Paul Scholes SQ passes.
Exactly, to Bonaja up front. The Batik Bonaja actually is very wasteful.
It reminds me of Moran Shamak.
Very wasteful, but the only advantage is if you do have a player like him, at least you have a midfield that is creating. You know that, you know what, let's play our role of creating for him. It's up to him to make sure that he converts from the chances. But you look at their midfield, they have that ability to stretch any midfield and any defense as well. Mahrez has that pace, Balaili on the other flank as well. You have Feguli who loves moving up front. So I think Senegal, they just have to add more solidity at the back and as well that flexibility in terms of movements in the midfield.
You speak about Senegal and in terms of moving forward and above. The question now that comes in, do you think that this is the time when Mbaye Niang is dropped to the bench and Islam Assar is brought on to play that sole role up front, so to allow Sadio Mane to drop back into the midfield to be able to contain the runs of Riyad Mahrez?
Well, I think the reason why Niang is actually getting, should I say, too much stick, I think it's because of that lack of creativity in the midfield. Because you look at this Senegal team, how they played, especially against Tunisia, there wasn't any creativity coming from the midfield. So this forced Diatta and then Mane to move, to slow down a bit, like to move backwards a bit, in order at least to get that ball and make sure that they create for Niang. And even the few chances that they created, I know he wasted them, but still, I could argue that it's because of the midfield. It lacked creativity.
You actually talk about the midfield, and when you look at how Senegal played, you realize that when you compare Senegal and Nigeria, Nigeria had a pivot in Alex Iwobi, who was always finding the runs of Ahmed Musa and the runs of Samuel Chukwueke. But you look at Senegal, there is no one making those runs in the wings, and also there's no one who is able to to dictate how the wing should be operating or how the midfield should be operating.
I think it's what we have been actually talking about. Players are not doing what they're supposed to do, yet they have that ability, that dexterity to do what we want them to do or what the fans want them to do. Because you look at Idrissa Gana Gueye, he has that ability, he has played beautiful soccer at Everton. Henry Saviet as well, he's supposed to be that man to orchestrate in the midfield, but isn't really doing that. There is something that is lacking in this Senegal team. They do have the players, but there is that final spark of brilliancy
that is lacking.
That is really, really lacking, and I think they'll need that today if they are to lift the AFCON for the first time.
So as we wrap this up, the AFCON finals, what would your thoughts be if say Senegal to pick up a win tonight before we look at Algeria?
Well, I think I wouldn't really say that it's going to be surprising. Definitely, it's not surprising for Senegal to win it for the first time. We have talked about the most important thing is the players. Because, as I told you, I don't really want to look at the form simply because these are players who have played at bigger stages. Look at Sadio Mane. He featured in the previous 2 Champions League finals. You look at Koulibaly, the kind of football that he has been playing. I know he's not going to be a part of the game, but he also adds a lot in terms of leadership to his team. Look at Idrissa Gana Gueye playing with Everton in their competitive football weekend in, weekend out. So I wouldn't really be surprised, but I would be surprised if Senegal fails to win.
Any key standout player for you from Senegal tonight?
Well, we have really failed to see that. I know that Koulibaly has been putting up a great shift, though the defense has been shaky, but I think this is the time when Sadio Mane has to carry this team on his back. Because
he's really not carried this team. He's missed 2 penalties in this entire tournament.
When he struggled against Uganda, so
exactly. So he's not really, because you look at that game Uganda, you're just not creative, and probably we'll have an episode where we'll discuss Uganda Cranes at AFCON and we'll break it down in solid, in complementarity. However, let's look at Algeria. Any key sections that will stand out and key players?
The midfield. The midfield has really been very, very organized. You look at the players with pace. My only worry is these are players that are really they mind about moving forward, attack-minded, and it wouldn't really be good if Senegal they have that sort of good game reading. If they study so much into this Algeria team that, you know what, their midfield is really shifting up front, maybe we can use the breaks to make sure that at least we make use of the spaces and score. But The good thing is Senegal's defense has been shaky. Well, for Algeria, I think the midfield has been good. You look at the two players who are supposed to run the lanes, Balai and then Riyad Mahrez. Very good players that have really been putting in a shift for this country, Algeria. Not only that, but even Figuli adds in that sort of creativity. So you know that you do have a midfield that everyone can create. Yeah. Everyone has space. What do you need? That's the midfield that you need to create for Bonaja up front. I've told you the ability of Adel Gueduri. He has that ability to cross over that long pass to Bonaja. So for me, I think that Algeria, they'll need their midfield to show up as the midfield has been doing in the previous game. So for me, I think the key aspect or department that needs to show up for Algeria should be the midfield.
Standout player?
Riyad Mahrez.
Riyad Mahrez. And of course, what's your prediction for tonight?
2-1 Senegal.
2-1 Senegal. I'll probably share thoughts with you and go for a 2-1 as well for Senegal in tonight's final. That will be happening in Egypt. I remember that Senegal, this is their second final. The last time they were in the final was 17 years ago, and they will be looking at securing their first ever AFCON title tonight when they take on Algeria, who have been nothing but formidable in this campaign. Now, as we wrap up, we'll talk about the transfer window. Okay. We'll start with the most obvious, Arsenal. So many times we've seen Arsenal fans crying and yawning about getting players, and what worsens the scenario is that Arsenal has always been in the news with so many rumors happening here and there. But this time around, the rumors have reduced, given that Arsenal came out and said we only have 45 million pounds to spend. Do you think that Arsenal could break the bank and sign some players?
Well, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, but I think if they do have ambitions, especially for next season, then that's the only thing they need to do. Because look at the kind of players that they do have right now. To me, these are not the kind of players that can win a championship. Yeah. They're the kind of players that can maybe, if they're
keep you mid-table.
Exactly. Because you look at even the teams in mid-table, these are teams that are signing, they're making major signings.
Exactly, because West Ham is signing major signings. Exactly. They just signed Hiola, a striker from Frankfurt. And then you look at Everton as well, they've been very busy in the market. Newcastle have also signed a striker for £30 million, something that Arsenal is here to do.
You look at teams like Wolves, they don't even have to sign to give us a hard time.
Exactly. But already Wolves are looking at bringing back, that is Diego Costa from Athletic Madrid. So, but for Arsenal, still rumors, they could be on position to sign Everton Suarez, the young man who was the 22-year-old who was the top scorer in Copa America.
They don't need him.
To play that wing, I think they'll need him because Alex Iwobi has not really been that impactful in that left wing.
The question should be, is Alex Iwobi the reason why Arsenal hasn't been performing well?
No, Arsenal's problems are in defense and also that midfield. Much as they got to Lucas Torreira, I still believe that they need someone who can sit in that midfield and command it. And then the other player that they're also looking at is Wilfred Zaha, who came out and told Crystal Palace that he wants to move out. Exactly. So we'll keep an eye on those transfer rumors for Arsenal before the Premier League does.
But now I'll tell Arsenal fans, I know that Zaha is a good signing, Everton as well, but if Arsenal doesn't sign a defender or defenders, it hasn't really been a good business for them in the window. So they need defenders in there. I know that in most cases, people are looking at Zaha. He's a good player, he has the pace, but you need the pace right now. You have the likes of Lacazette, Aubameyang as well. Why don't you try to patch up the spaces you have at the back by signing more defenders? That's the only business that Arsenal needs to work on right now. If they sign defenders, then it's all good. They can go on and sign Everton and Zaha.
In the El Clasico, though, Madrid went ahead and signed some big name players to add on the players that they already had. They got Eden Hazard, they got Luka Jovic, they got Militao rather. They went and got Fernan Mendy. And then you look at the fact that they already have Vinicius Junior, they have Marco Asensio in that midfield, and you're thinking Madrid were already primed to win La Liga with these signings that they had made. However, towards the as we're coming to the closure of this transfer window, Barcelona went ahead and got Antoine Griezmann from Atletico Madrid for £120 million. They are now offering £90 million together, and they have told PSG, from the 6 players on this list, select 2 that you need, plus £90 million, and give us Neymar. What kind of El Clasico do you think we'll be having if Neymar does return to Barcelona?
Oh, well, to me, I think that Real Madrid and Barcelona, if you look at the two teams, I think that Real Madrid have a lot of work to do. I know that they have good players, star players in there. These are players that can win a championship, but then the only worry should be how long is Zidane going to take to create that chemistry between them.
Yeah.
On the flip, we are looking at this Barcelona team, of which I think for Antoine Griezmann, very many people are questioning that signing, but I think it's a really brilliant signing.
Yeah.
Now, this is a time when at least Messi needs to promise people that he's bringing the seal or the Champions League, and then it happens. But when you look at most of the players that they do have on that team, at least if they drop Coutinho or Dembele, Antoine Griezmann is supposed to play in there, especially that 4-3-3 formation, where you know that at least up front, maybe you have Antoine Griezmann, you have Suarez, and then you have Lionel Messi. Then in midfield, you have maybe Rakitic, Busquets as well, and then De Jong, the young man they signed from Ajax. So I think for Barcelona, it's that shift in whereby they need to push in Antoine Griezmann in the team. It's really something that is not going to give them a hard time to create that chemistry. But for Real Madrid, they do have very many new players. I know they are good, but creating that chemistry.
The chemistry between the players.
Yeah.
Of course, remember that Neymar, should he be signed by Barcelona, would add a lot of spark to this side, which would mean that they could have a front three that
Do they need Neymar though?
If you want to win the Champions League, you need everything. And Neymar is, and they have always looked at Neymar as the player that should be able to take over from Messi as he's clocking his 30s, in there. But again, the El Clasico. But we'll look at how these players will be able to impact the El Clasico. Real Madrid have signed big name players, but just like Krida said, it will come down to the chemistry that they will have at the end of the day. But for Barcelona, it's a case of, can they tweak that defense? Can they tweak that midfield and be able to to compete? Because with that kind of defense that they have at the moment, the front three that Madrid have signed can be able to run through them and score some amazing goals. But at the end of the day, we will keep waiting to see what the signings will be. Of course, we know that Real Madrid are also looking at bringing Paul Pogba, but they have said that Kylian Mbappe could be an excellent signing. So we'll be waiting to see. But for me and Creed at the moment, it's me, Moses Echodu, Creed Mugabe, and we're saying peace out. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next week with another episode.
After Senegal winning the AFCON.